I guess that leads to the next step. Now we know that there's going to be an NX reveal at some point between now and March. Who knows? It could be next week. It could be February. We don't know. Do Nintendo show off games in that reveal? And is one of those games a Metroid game?
I think if Nintendo want goodwill, Metroid is the franchise for goodwill. It's not going to make headlines for the majority of outlets, right? It's not going to be the thing that the mainstream people get behind and they're all like, oh, I need to buy this console because it has a Metroid on it. But if you want to instill confidence in a fan base, and if you want people to get excited, and if you want people to trust that Nintendo are back on a good track again, that the train has come back on the rails, then Metroid, I think, is probably the ultimate franchise for that. Because it has a greater appeal, I think, across the Nintendo fan than something like F-Zero does or Star Fox does. Those games generally, I think, tend to be more segmented because they're about racing and flying. So, for 100% certainty, I think that if they came out at an event, like an NX event, and said, hey, there's a Metroid game, people would be incredibly excited. So,
MBZ, what's the percentage chance of a Metroid game getting revealed at the NX reveal?
Oh, God. Now they're past Federation Force, they have an open window to talk about another product. And I think that was a big deal, was like just getting that thing out of the way so they don't have to worry about it anymore. I would say that I would put the percentage chance at 50. I think it's a flip of a coin. I think it's a flip of a coin kind of thing where they are always thinking, as they say, about new entries in franchises. And the reason I think Federation Force was created and put out is because they've wanted to fill the gaps where there aren't mainline entries every year. You know, like they have the big Zelda games, but they always keep putting out re-releases and spin-offs and all those different types of things to keep people having it in their conscience and knowing there's a Zelda product always like there for them. And so I think what they did with Federation Force was the bad move, which was to put out the spin-off product before you confirm that you're still working on like a mainline one. And as a result, I think that like there is a definite chance that Metroid is going to show up. The form it shows up in, I'm still completely like I can't even divine whether it will be something that we know and love or whether it will again be some deviation, but I have to go down the middle because I don't think that we can get any better chance than that. Like, yeah, I don't think. How about you? What do you think percentage wise?
I might go higher. I might go 75%. And
that is bold.
It is very bold, but I mean, you know, we're all about the bold predictions here on this podcast.
The terrible predictions.
The terrible, obviously. Bold predictions. I just think that it would be. I know that Nintendo rarely try to get, you know, the internet hyped when it comes to NeoGAF and Twitter, perhaps. I mean, they do it on occasion, but what if they just said, you know what, stuff it. We're just going to try and get the internet as excited as possible with this NX reveal. I guess we'll see some more Breath of the Wild. Big deal. That'll be interesting. Great.
Don't say big deal about Breath of the Wild. I'm fucking stoked.
Of course I am, but I'm saying the footage that we would see of it running on NX isn't going to maybe excite you as much as E3 did with the reveal. That's all I'm saying. Like,
sure.
But if they then slid that into like, oh, and by the way, like we've also been working on this Metroid game that's going to be coming in the launch, and they'll say launch window. They'll never say the launch, but in case it gets pushed back, they'll say launch window, Metroid, blah. Here it is. And you know the internet will just explode. Like it's already exploding with the fact that this is the NX reveal, but then to just sweeten it with like Metroid. I mean, come on. I think there's a strong chance of that because they need some excitement. Will they try and say anything 30th anniversary related in that reveal? I highly doubt it because it'd be a bit random to announce a game on the back of an anniversary rather than ensuring that one comes out on an anniversary. I don't know, but yeah. I think it's going to happen. I think it's, you know, they need a bit of excitement around this series. And as much as we were joking about Reggie with his Samus around onto the desk, I think that it's maybe too rich to say that they do value Metroid, because if they valued it,
I mean,
properly,
Reggie wore that pin on the game
Yeah.
thing, the VGX, and then revealed Cranky Kong and Tropical Freeze. So
I think the question though is, does Reggie know the name of the person on the pin he wore, or was he just given it
No.
like last minute? Like, Reggie, you have to wear this. You just need to
Yeah.
please the fans. He's like, okay, whatever. I don't know, but I'm quietly confident. I'm quietly confident.
All right, Bal, you take that confidence. We'll see where it gets you, I
Who knows?
guess.
Who knows? It could be next week. It could be in 8 weeks. Oh, it's crazy times.
I'm giving up. I give up. I give up on this NX business. Val. I'm
it's
done.
weird.
I'm done. We're not talking about it anymore. We're not allowed to say the words NX on this podcast. I banned it. God, that's impossible. If you enjoyed this discussion and would like to hear more, consider subscribing to us on YouTube and following the podcast playlist. You can also find us on iTunes and various other places. Follow us on Twitter at TNL Podcast and email us thisnintendolife@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.